The one thing about the real estate industry is that markets are always changing. Sometimes buyers have the upper hand, other times sellers have the upper hand. One of the things that we've seen recently is interest rates, and interest rates are increasing, and so they're forcing the market to change. So what do you do when interest rates increase? And so in today's lesson, I want to talk about financing and interest rates when the market shifts. Let's go. What's good, y'all? My name is Sean Slaughter, real estate agent and investor, and my mission is to help new real estate agents level up within the first 5 years of doing real estate. And so today we're going to talk about the changing of real estate markets, particularly with interest rates. The one thing that we saw during the pandemic was that interest rates dropped so low that people were willing to buy houses even though house prices were very, very high. But as interest rates increase, what does this mean for today's market? And how should we as newer real estate agents navigate this changing interest rate? Hey, don't forget, if you like the content that I'm giving you guys, please be sure to like, definitely subscribe, and karate chop that bell for notifications. Okay, so for the first thing, as you're dealing with your clients and interest rates are going up, the first thing that you're gonna have to do is separate those that are ready to buy now and those who may not be ready to pull the trigger. Sometimes this is not evident, and even though you may get them pre-qualified, it still may not be evident. For instance, I had a client that was pre-qualified. The problem was her amount that she was pre-qualified for was low. It was like 150, 160, and she was looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Maybe 2 years ago, we could find that, but because prices were so high, 3-bedroom, 1-bathrooms in this Hampton Roads area, particularly in like Portsmouth where she was looking, in Norfolk, 3-bedroom, 1-bathrooms were going for 170, 175. The homes that were going for 150 were 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and they were trash. She wanted to buy, but because she couldn't raise her pre-qual and it took so long, she got tired. She got exhausted from shopping, and she was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and rent. Now that's different than another buyer that I had that understood, hey, look, if your pre-qualification is at this price point, it may take us a while to look, and please be prepared to bring some money to the table. It's just kind of the market that we're dealing with. And those clients were like, let's get it. Let's go for it. And by the 4th house, we pulled the trigger and we put an offer in and we got ratified. So that's the first thing that you want to do. You want to separate those who are ready to go no matter what versus those that are like, I'll go if all the stars align, but if they don't align, then I don't know. And you may want to just ask them this question up front. Do you have the stamina and energy in this market to really look for a home, especially at this price, because it may take some time? So ask the question up front. Number 2, talk to your loan officer about the best products for your client. So in a previous video, when I talked about having your team, and part of your team should be a loan officer, or 2 or 3. The reason that you want to use the same loan officer, I like using the same loan officer consistently, especially if they provide fantastic service and they coach my clients, is because they're going to coach me. My job is a real estate agent. And so I don't have experience. I'm not excellent in that area. So I've connected myself with some loan officers who are excellent in that area. And so I call them to get coaching. Hey, what are we doing now that these interest rates are going up? How can we help our clients? What are the best products? I even heard on a podcast today about assumptions. And I heard about how assumptions may increase simply because if the mortgage rate, let's just say, goes up to 7 or 8% or something like that, and somebody has a mortgage rate of 5% and they're selling their house, then the buyer may want to assume that mortgage because of a lower interest rate. And for sellers, as a listing agent, that'll be a great tool to market. You can assume this loan and get this low interest rate, and you'll have people running to your house. So talk to your loan officer about the different products, the VA loans, the FHA loans, the first-time home buyer loans, the conventional loans. Every conventional loan, even though you do need a good credit score for a conventional loan, every conventional loan does not require you to put 20% down or 15% down. So talk to your loan officer to see what the possibilities are. And every client is different. So you want to get that loan officer in contact with your client, have a conversation, let them start submitting their paperwork. And then that loan officer should be able to guide them on exactly what product would be the most helpful. Number 3, educate your clients on the power of the interest rate. Many of your clients, when they're filling out for a pre-qualification, what is the one thing that they talk about? It's not the overall price of the house or the overall cost of the house necessarily. It is, what are my monthly payments? This is tied directly to the interest rate. So educate your clients on the difference in a 3% interest rate and a 4% interest rate. Educate your clients on the effect of their credit scores when it comes to your interest rate. Interest rates right now are on the rise. So the longer they wait, the more expensive it is monthly payment wise, it will be for them to get a house. And number 4 ties into number 3. Have your clients lock in their interest rates early. Now, interest rate locks do expire. On average, about 30 to 60 days is when that lock will expire. Every mortgage company is different. If you're going to tell your buyer to lock in an interest rate, they have to understand, number 1, we're doing this so that if the interest rate creeps up over the next month or 2, you're good. But you also want to let them know, we need to go ahead and find our house within this next 2 months. This is not to rush your client, but this is to let your client know, hey, you may have to adjust your schedule so that we can go and look for houses. You know, you'll have clients that will want to see houses only on Saturdays or once every 2 weeks, or I'll give you a call back when I'm available. And in this market where the interest rates are going up, you want to let your clients know, hey, if we lock this rate in, we need to be going out several times a week to go see a house. Let's work out a schedule where we can make this happen. You definitely don't want your clients dictating the schedule if they have their interest rates locked. But please be sure to let them know to get their interest rate locked to protect them from a higher mortgage payment if those interest rates creep up. Number 5, now that you're shopping, now that you have your interest rate locked, talk to your client about what a winning offer looks like. When you're in a seller's market and the sellers are selling for very high prices and there are very few homes, but there are a lot of buyers, then there is low supply, but lots of demand. When there's low supply and lots of demand, sellers can increase their prices and they don't have to make a lot of concessions for buyers because they have several buyers for one home. Many of your buyers do not understand the supply and demand of a real estate market. They don't understand what market they're even in. And if your clients are on the lower end of the market, meaning it's a seller's market, and so sellers don't have to make concessions and buyers have to, then you have to be honest with your buyers on what a winning offer looks like. This means that they may have to pay closing costs. Some areas, they may even have to pay a realtor fee. In Hampton Roads, Virginia area, this has not touched this area, thank God, but sometimes they may even have to pay the realtor fees as well. Talk to your client about, hey, these are some of the things that we may have to do in order to win this home. And lastly, in the market as the interest rates are rising, I want you guys to be aggressive. As far as when it comes to looking for homes and helping your client look for homes, they have to understand we can't just look for homes once a week. We got to do this thing at least twice, 3 times a week. And when we're going out, we have to look at a bunch of homes. Try not to take your clients out to 1 home or 2 homes. You're just wasting your time. Have 4, 5, or even 6 homes that they can look at. So if you take them out, twice a week or 3 times a week, they've looked at 12 to 18, maybe even 20 homes, right? Give them options. So be aggressive, but also your demeanor should be patient and it should be calming. You are the calming effect. This is a big purchase. A lot of buyers are nervous. They don't know what's going to happen. They're unsure. Sometimes they may not have all the trust in you or the trust in the loan officer because they see you as a salesperson and all other type stuff. Be patient. Have a calming effect. That's part of your job. Part of your job is that you're the expert and you're in this thing so that you can take on those burdens. I tell my clients, hey, look, because I'm with you, because I'm walking with you, We're going to have a good time. It's going to be patient. It's going to be calming. We're going to take our time. Don't worry about it. That's what I tell my clients. Don't worry about it. All right. I'm going to inform you. You're going to know exactly what's going to happen at every step. If there are issues, don't deal with those issues like a fire drill. Be patient. Be calming. Be that person. Be that rock that client can count on, that I know if I'm nervous, I can go to my agent, because that person is going to either have the answers, be able to get the answers, or assure me that everything is going to be all right. I love you guys. Do not be jaded by this interest rates going up. As a matter of fact, I'll show you this right before I leave. Okay, so this is from mortgagereports.com, and this is the historical 30-year mortgage rates from 1971 to 1922. As you can see, in April of 71, where interest rates were right about 7%, okay? About 11 years later, in 83, interest rates jumped up to about 19%. Imagine getting a house, a 30-year fixed mortgage rate at 19%. Sounds ungodly. Interest rates start coming back down, maybe about 11% in 89. Let's jump ahead a little bit. In 09, where you had interest rates about 6.5%. And of course, here we are now, where interest rates were bottoming out at 2.5%. And now they're climbing back up to about 5%. Show your clients this. Even though interest rates are going up, I'm not nervous and I'm not worried, because I know at 5%, we're still less than what we were just 10 years ago, right? About 5% 10 years ago. So don't trip. It's all good. You can still help your clients. They'll still get a house, and historically speaking, over the last 2 decades, they're still getting a fantastic mortgage rate. So be positive. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, motivators. This is the House of Motivation, the place where inspiration lives. Peace.